Carpenter back in the fantasy bar talking some Friday night baseball. 6 of my favorite plays for you ready on FanDuel and DraftKings. We're going to give you a stack. Not only that, we're going to give you 2 stacks. The best news every single bet. I'm going to give you out of those stacks 4,500 or below on DraftKings. We'll get you my favorite starting pitcher in a great matchup, some of my favorite buy lows to save you some money, and my favorite bat on the entire slate. Who we talking about? Only one way to find out. Send a belly up to the fantasy bar. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition, kicking off your weekend here from the Fantasy Bar. Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. 6 of my favorite plays for this Friday night slate on FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out today's video. Before we get to those plays, I challenge you once again. How many thumbs up can we get on the video? Only takes a second to hit that tip jar, which is that thumbs up button. Much appreciated, you guys. Let's see if we can get up to 300 on today's video, and maybe we'll add some prizes next week. Also, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content. All right, huge slate of games, couple weather spots we'll keep an eye on. As always, any changes need to be made, we will do so both in the comment section here on YouTube. We'll pin that comment, and also over on Twitter. All right, let's jump in with the outfield first with Carrie Carpenter of Detroit. Carpenter been kind of quiet, got a red hot start to the season, but it's only brought his price down. Also, probably brings the ownership down here as well. I don't see this as a big ownership spot here tonight. And Carpenter been really solid against righties. We've talked about him quite a few times this season here in the fantasy bar. 358 WOBA this season against righties, 233 ISO, hits the fastball very well and should see a good dose of fastballs from Nick Martinez, who's a lot of home run in each of his last 3 starts, giving up some good hard contact as well. 2 left-handed hitters at over 46%. Sneaky good power spot here tonight for Carrie Carpenter. All right, let's stay right there with another piece from Detroit with another outfielder in Riley Green. So as I mentioned, Detroit, I think looks like a nice sneaky stack here tonight, and I really like this spot for Riley Green. Even if you don't stack him, I like how he matches up here with Nick Martinez and swinging a good bat. Another guy that got off to a very slow start and really starting to heat up. We're not even halfway through June, and 5 multi-hit games from this month already. Look at the numbers against righties, 387 WOBA and a big 255 ISO. We mentioned those fastballs. Green has been deadly against that pitch. WOBA over 400 and an ISO at 250, and that is over a sample going all the way back to the start of last season. So another power spot I really like here with Riley Green. I think the Tigers, sneaky stack tonight against Nick Martinez. All right, let's go to starting pitcher next. My favorite tonight, Jacob DeGrom of Texas. Now, we'll make sure he is locked in tonight. Some sites have him as the pitcher. Some have waited and said it's TBD, but everything sounds like DeGrom is going to give it a go. And if he does, I really love this spot for him against the White Sox, really starting to round back in to what we saw in his days with the Mets here. 7 or more strikeouts now in 4 of the last 6 starts. Double-digit strikeout upside, certainly a possibility here in this game against the White Sox. 7th highest strikeout rate in all of baseball at over 22.5%. And this is a team that's very punchless, and DeGrom has been flat out dominant. Only 5 earned runs allowed total over his last 5 starts here. And we're talking about a team that's bottom 2 in all of baseball in WOBA, ISO, and WRC plus against right-handed pitching. So a spot DeGrom could pitch deep into this game. I know there's been bullpen games planned here as well, but it may need him to go a little bit longer. And the matchup doesn't get much better here than it does with the Chicago White Sox. All right, back to the bats. Let's save you some money at shortstop with Carlos Koreah. So we've talked about him quite a few times. One of my favorite values buy lows, especially with a lefty on the mound, and that's what we get tonight for the Minnesota Twins. And he is absolutely decimated left-handed pitching on the season. WOBA at 451, and look at that ISO up near 400. So among the best in all of baseball against lefties in the power department. And he has hit the 4-seam fastball extremely well. Gordon over 35% of the time. That is his pitch to right-handed hitters. We're talking a 546 WOBA and an ISO at 500 over the past 2 seasons for Carlos Koreah against that pitch. Didn't get numbers like that. It's just 3,500 and 2,700. Carlos Koreah, one of the best values on the board here for Friday night. All right, let's stay there with the Twins and add another piece and another value piece at third base with Royce Lewis. So huge ceiling here for Royce Lewis. I know we haven't seen it like we've seen in years past, but when I can get a guy with this kind of upside at 2,700, 2,500, I am buying here every day of the week. Bats starting to wake up a little bit over the last 5 games, 7 hits, 2 multi-hit games over that span. And Gordon has struggled a little bit against righties. 378 WOBA allowed. Look at that. ISO at 241, so giving up some power along with a 49% hard contact rate. Cheap stacking options or one-off plays here with the Minnesota Twins with Carlos Koreah and Royce Lewis. All right, it's time. Take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. Before we do that, let's continue our Beast of the Night contest. Easy to play. All you got to do, hit that thumbs up button, head to the comment section, and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter of the 5 bats I give you. If your guess is the closest, you're going to walk away with a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. All right, let's wrap it up with my favorite play for Friday night. You know, Matt's the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We are going to go to first base here to round things out with Matt Olsen of the Braves, tonight's Beast of the Night. So this is one of those weather spots we'll have to keep an eye on. I think it goes, but anything changes, we will make those adjustments. So keep an eye out on the comment sections. Check back later in the day. But I love this spot for the Braves, and I really like these prices on Matt Olsen, who's been great against righties this season. 356 WOBA, 223 ISO, and look at that hard contact rate, above 70%. So absolutely elite. Some of those numbers should be even better with a hard contact rate that high, and I think it's going to start to trend up here for Matt Olsen. Marquez, always a target for me. Very low strikeout pitcher at just 13% against left-handed hitters. 397, the WOBA allowed, and a hard contact rate all the way up at 56%. So 70% for Olsen, 56% for Marquez giving up. I think Matt Olsen puts plenty of balls in play here. I think he sends one into the seats. Matt Olsen, easily my favorite play on the board and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll do it for our Friday six-pack. As always, any comments, questions, or feedback, feel free to hit me up in that comment section right below the video or over on Twitter at Beermakersfan and get your guess in. Highest scoring hitter, my 5 bats, their fantasy points on DraftKings. If your guess is the closest, you win a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more DraftKings, FanDuel, and other DFS content. And you can check out our daily live show schedule on RotoGrinders.com/videos.